everyone. Hope you're doing well on a Saturday. Thank you for tuning in to Real Estate Ryan Easter edition, talking a little real estate. Glad to be in the studio and so excited to be with you this Easter weekend. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name's Ryan Coleman, owner of Hometown Realty, and I guess the solo host of Real Estate with Ryan. My lovely wife could not be here today. She's with our little crew at the house, so she sends you all the love and so excited to actually get out the house for a little bit, come to our studio, and spend a little time with you guys. So it's going to be a positivity show, and everybody's listening to a little bit of news, or too much news, right? Too much news, too much doom and gloom, too much despair. I literally had to turn off Fox News or some of the other shows, and I just said, I can't watch it. It's just too much, you know. I've got a friend of mine, he's got the tracker in the back, and he's watching all the coronavirus ideas and numbers, and it's just like, God, it's too much. It's just too much. So I know we're definitely concerned about it. There's so much going on, but I think you could overconsume it. And this week is a good opportunity to take our mind off of it being Easter and focus on so much things that are different than upon ourselves. And so trying to do that this week to be positive and want to give you a good show. So let's go over to a little bit of real estate news, keep you up to date. I've got a good show. We're talking about things you can do, things to consider when buying a home in 2020, things we may challenge. You know, real estate always can be an up and down event. Good market, bad market, things change on a dime. That's always exciting about real estate because you never know what you're going to get into. You think, getting into real estate is going to be a fairly easy transition, but there's always something coming up. I think that's why I like it so much. There's always something new, challenging. It's always stretching you to grow. And so that with real estate, as where we're at, we're being forced to grow along with a lot of you guys. I want to let you know here locally that a lot of people don't talk about it. Some of the numbers, I'm a little shocked as well, but I want to share them with you. So let's go over the Knoxville surrounding our whole DMA area, basically East Tennessee, the areas that we cover in the MLS. So we've got new listings that have come on the market in the last week. So the last 7 days, has been a little bit challenging. They're expecting things to be a little bit more abnormal than we need, right? We had 611 new properties hit the market. We had 437 close in the last week. Some of those were already in process, but they actually closed out and went to the closing table. We had 397 homes that went under contract in the last week. Encouraging, right? We had 147 properties that expired. Combination of reasons, that's just not uncommon. And we had 291 properties that had price adjustments. And that may or may not have anything to do with what the market is today. Maybe just a combination that was overpriced from the get-go and needed to make that change. Looking back at some of the numbers and things that we were thinking about, where do we project this year to be? Where do we still see the market going? I think what we're going to see here the next couple of weeks is it will probably open back up. We'll open back to a limited capacity. I think Knoxville as a whole, we're going to be to a position where we need to be, and we'll go back to work. And our numbers are relatively low in the area compared to a lot of other states and localities. Will it change? Will it change how we do business? I think it will. I think it's we have to until they get a vaccine or they get something solved here, or something magical that happens. Maybe the weather changes and the heat just dissipates it. But it's going to change business. It's going to change the way we do business. But it won't change the way we do our spirit, and it won't change who we are, guys. So like anything, this too shall pass. We've got to put a pause. We may have to change it up a little bit. We're already working on our masks. We're thinking about maybe putting our logos on our masks and some different things like that to make it cool and to make it acceptable. I want you guys to understand that if you're thinking about buying or selling this year, know that we are using the utmost precautions. We will probably more than likely 100% be going to masks and gloves and all the safety precautions. It's not something that we want to do, but more importantly, we want to do it for you guys, for our safety, your safety, and to protect you guys. I have a lot of seniors, a lot of clients that, you never know, right? And we want to make sure that we doing everything to protect you. Some new features that we're adding in the real estate market for our present clients and what's on the market to educate you guys out there. We have a new tour that when we're scheduling showings now in the virtual world, that you have an opportunity to do a virtual tour. We've invested in some technology that where you can walk through the computers right now through the comfort of your own home. Really makes it now at times like this, really we've seen those numbers increase and gain a lot more foot traffic. I still think, let me rephrase that, I know that the market's not going to change when you're making a big purchase as we're showing one today. Nothing's going to replace to get the touch and feel of it. And we're going to have to see what's going on, check our neighbors, see how close our neighbors are. Do we like just have that gut feeling of the property? What's the backyard like? Will it fit for our animals? All that kind of thing will still be in play. So we won't ever get away from that. But what we're doing in this time is hopefully with our marketing, getting more eyeballs, more people interested through technology, and we have better opportunities of getting a sale. We're also helping buyers in the early stages being able to look at more property and narrow down exactly what's important and what's not. So I thought that was very helpful. And adding that extra feature allows us to know we have a really interested buyer. All of my clients will be updated with a text or an email, and then get real-time feedback on how that virtual showing is. More than likely, that will result in a face-to-face showing, okay? So those are some things that we're doing differently, along with multiple other things. I've got an article here I thought was helpful, but I want to also finish on some news that we were talking about. Locally here, we are seeing some of our lenders, some lenders changed. Some of the big lenders, I won't mention any names, but they're changing credit score requirements. So they're making a higher credit score. Somewhere are at 700, some are at 680, I believe, 680 to 700. Some lenders are not doing any manufactured housing. Some lenders are not doing loans unless you're their present client. Don't worry, this is just that restriction in the marketplace that we have. It happens. The good news, if you have a great agent in your corner and somebody that's been through this market, we're going to be able to walk you through that process. I really think now more than ever, you need somebody in your corner that can walk you through the process, get the deal done, battle with the appraisal, deal with all the closing process, all the haggle and everything that goes on. And then even when you sell the property, deal with that because there could be potential job loss or potential issues on that deal closing, and get you all the way to the finish line, because usually, and a lot of our clients, that's not the ending. They're usually buying something else, and then that domino effect comes into play. So we've got to be able to walk them through that process and get through there. So there's going to be some challenges. News just came out recently. Your Redfin, if you know those guys, are here locally in the marketplace, that they just nationally laid off 7% of their workforce, and I think about 41,000 of their agents. Redfin is a discount broker service, I believe. And so they're here locally in that market, so that was shocking to see. Zillow, big internet source buyer, they have paused all their buying programs where they're buying homes below market value and doing things like that. So they've paused those all throughout multiple states that they're in. So it's just a changing of the times, and I thought that was interesting. Let's talk about some ideas here. If you're buying a home during this process, what to expect and some ideas that we've seen. Keep in mind, during March 27th, even though that pretty much essentially the U.S. markets were shut down for business, the number of mortgage applications for home purchases were still about 3/4 of what 2019. I thought that was interesting, really interesting point. We're seeing some cases that real estate transactions are being held up or coming apart, but a lot of buyers and sellers are banding together to figure the way to get deals done. I really thought that was interesting. Now more than ever, it takes a teamwork. I always tell you guys, whether it's a buyer, whether it's a seller, or whether it's great agents working together, it takes a team approach. You know, the days of just putting the home on the market and selling in spite of that, we still have some of that. It's going to take teamwork to navigate through this department and through this process. Some of the things that we're seeing, what I thought is interesting, sometimes having a home warranty in this process will also help you sellers as carrying on, giving the buyer some confidence of unexpected repairs that they may have to potentially make or that could come up, it may be an extra advantage point to having that warranty. You know, home inspections are not going anyway, and inspectors are now using some opportunities like live video chatting apps like FaceTime and Zoom to get buyers engaged during that process and keep them in remotely so that they don't have to be to the actual showing. Coming on a break, I'll talk more about appraisals, the market, and importantly this weekend, what you maybe can do or spending the next week working on your garage to help improve your value on your home. You're listening to Real Estate with Ryan. Stay tuned, and we're going to catch you here on the other side of the break.
When it comes to the real estate market, turn to the experts that focus on you. With over 20 years experience, Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty knows what it takes. It's the right marketing. It's the right exposure. Ryan and April will use their expertise each step as they guide you through the home buying and selling process. Ultimately, it's about results.
You need someone you can trust that is committed to you.
You have a lot of choices, but the choice is simple. It's Hometown Realty.
Your friend promised we wouldn't be homeless.
He promised. He's doing everything to fix it.
You need to call and have him fix it now.
Hey, man.
Found us a house?
No, not yet. Let me call you back. We're working on it.
Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty.
He says he's doing the best he can do, honey.
Well, he's taken too long. I knew we should have gone with Ryan Coleman.
Choosing the right agent is never easy.
Call your hometown experts. We'll take care of all the details and make sure you don't get stuck in a motel. All right, guys, back after that break. Thank you for staying with us. If you're tuning in for the first time, we're talking about a little real estate here, Easter weekend. So excited to be with you guys. We're talking about if you're buying a home in 2020, some things you need to consider. We're talking about some news, some market updates, what's going on, and I'll piggyback on that. I want to wish everybody a happy Easter if you're tuning in. Me and my family send you all the love, and thank you guys so much for following us and all that you do. Hope everybody's staying safe. Again, if you guys need us, and you're tuning in the first time, or maybe you've missed our number is easy. It's 693-SOLD, 693-SOLD, or you can visit us at ryancoleman.org for any information. Keep in mind, we've added to our website that if you guys want to set up any appointments, we added a bar, some information that we are setting virtual appointments and physical appointments. But right now, our virtual appointments are very, very hot, and we have an opportunity to sit down and see what your needs are, what's important to you. And whether it's now or in the next couple of weeks, get an idea of what your home's worth. Maybe also give you some idea tips. I was on a conference call the other day with some clients, and we were going over some ideas of what you can do to get your house ready. Things will maximize the impact, and some things that we're going to see here probably approaching the next couple of weeks, and officially probably in the summer market. Before the break came in, we were talking about some ideas and what we're seeing home inspectors doing using some of the apps and FaceTime technology. Lenders are also cutting back a little bit. They're using computer algorithms. Are they pronouncing that right? They're using computer technology where they can actually go through and do basically desktop underwriting and do an appraisal value on your home. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac said the government-backed mortgage giants recently directed mortgage lenders to reduce the need for appraisers to inspect the interior of a home. So that was interesting. Now our final walkthroughs, they're still taking place. We have seen that on some of these conditions that buyers are testing appliances and doing different things like that. But buyers are taking safety precautions. Some buyers are asking sellers to leave the doors open so they can see the whole entire house with their hands in their pockets. What in the world is going on? But this is where we're at. So it's kind of like you get a hand dealt to you. That's the hand you're dealt, and we're going to work through it. My wife was talking a little bit today, and actually she had a little breakdown, and it was, she's a little bit more challenged because, she's had the baby. She's kind of been in hibernation mode for a little bit, and then, she was telling me, she was like, Ryan, all I'm going to see is you. So I think she wants to go out and meet people and, go back into interaction and do those things. So I think all of us are getting a little stir crazy and just, doing our part, but it's challenging, isn't it, guys? It is challenging. Hey, more buyers are doing e-closing. Carla over there at Genesis Title, my preferred title agent and good friend, is doing things so creatively. We saw a lot of different title companies that they're going down in the parking lot, they're meeting clients, they're bringing out, bags and things to sign and different ways to do it. I mean, business is going to be done, guys. People are going to buy and sell. Real estate will be sold. It's one of the essential things that you need to do. We're finding some people are selling their homes to downsize. Some people are selling their homes, need to cash out. If a lot of buyers taking advantage of this market, opportunities there, interest rates we have never seen them as low as they're at. And there's an opportunity once next couple of weeks come out of this, there can be some tremendous deals. Investors, we're seeing in the marketplace actually come out of the marketplace of the stock market and get more into real estate, that things are more stable, and more opportunities to see and touch what you got and know what kind of investment that you have. So I thought that was very, very important. As we approach 2020, just a couple of things to think about. And where are you going in this crazy world? So one of the things, importantly, if you're thinking about purchasing, is checking your employment, seeing where you're at there, kind of understanding if that's something secure. I guess nobody really knows where that is, but check the stability of your employment. Make sure that you're checking all those and before making a big purchase. If you're unsure of that, maybe you need to rent, maybe you need to do a temporary pause. How long do you plan to own the property? It's important. Think about it. It's a big decision. And are you going to plan 3 to 5 years, or is this a long-term thing? So some of those things really will come in. Down payment issues. How much money are we going to have to put down? Does putting less down make sense now and keeping more money in reserves? There's always those options, and we have access to those as well. And probably the major thing to think about coming into the market is that in deals now and selling in 2020, that the transaction really does lie with the buyer and seller. I always said that, hey, real estate is always about buyers and sellers coming together. It's a meeting of the minds. That's what real estate is always about. But thinking about this, putting on the market, is we're coming out of a essentially strike or a pause where business, although we gave you the numbers, the consensus that I'm seeing is a lot of people are holding or temporary seeing what's going on. Okay. And it's not uncommon and it's normal. We had clients the other day that we were going to put their home on the market and they just were unsure. And you know what? I'm okay with that because we're here for you, whether it's now, 6 months, a year, 2 years. We're going to be here through that process. A lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of understanding of national when you're selling your home and what varies in geographic areas, neighborhoods, subdivisions. Overall, we've been tracking some of the information that's out there today, and our numbers are way, way conservative in a lot of areas. Go back to 2008, 2009, when the housing market had some corrections. One of the things we were talking about East Tennessee was the opportunity that East Tennessee has to offer. That's why I really think that we're going to have a surge, that when we come out of this whatever pause that we're on right now, although we will have some changes on how we do business, I do think that the housing market and what we have here locally is going to shoot off and shoot off pretty effectively. But one of the things I would encourage you to do and get with us now is you just don't know what offers you're going to get if your home's not on the market. You can't gauge to know what buyers are doing if your home's not on the market. So challenging right now is if the home's not on the market, it's really hard to test where you're at. And then get an idea of how long that you're going to have listed with an agent during this process. It could be longer time on the market, could be a shorter time. Have an agent that's willing to work with you, flexible, to meet the guidelines and time frames that you guys will have. Let's get in this part of the show. And you guys around town, if you're like me, I'm going to work on my garage this weekend, work on some different things. How can improve value to my house? Well, here's some ideas that you can work on that garage, not only to increase space, kind of a project to-do list while you have a little bit of time on your hand, but also will help the resale value of your home. So some things to do is working on the floor. And one of the things we bought was to insulate your garage. That's a great opportunity. Adding a workshop, adding that kind of room for tools and storage is great. Adding custom shelves so everything is organized is a big, big deal. Adding more storage in the loft is another idea. Slip-proof floors for the garage. That's awesome. If you've seen some of these garages, they put the epoxy floors down, really make a really nice look on a garage. It's a sleek look there. How about adding a new garage door, changing out the front, getting a little new decor, lighting on the exterior of your garage door. Also, how about curb appeal? Making sure maybe we're doing a new driveway, having that great looking garage on the front end is an opportunity. And, we did a home gym. We're working on a home gym. Having a home gym is a great opportunity. Buyers like that space, and turning that into an either office or external living space or workout facility, believe it or not, is a big plus in the housing market. So hope you've enjoyed the show today. We're talking a little bit about garages, what you could do to kind of work on that garage and increase value. I think overall, most people, when we put the property on the market, they overlook the garage. It's kind of where we put all of our stuff. If you're like me, we've got a pack rat, we've got stuff everywhere, and we need to clean that out. But if you're selling your home in 2020, as we approach 2020, we're actually here, right? It's hard to believe we're in 2020. We actually just got over the first quarter. And coming through that, we're going right into the middle of the summer season. So that opportunity now, more than ever, having your garage organized is going to be efficient. I think you're going to see a lot of movement, a lot of activity during the summer months. And so being prepared, using this time wisely will help you guys get your home ready if you're thinking about selling. As always, with everything going on, we thank you for tuning in. And on Easter weekend, I wish you and your family a safe weekend. Now more than ever, take the time, spend with family, do some things that maybe you're too busy to do, and understand the reason for the season and Jesus and everything that he's done for us and actually has come back and from the death. So we appreciate him. We love him. We love you guys. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for following you. You guys have a great week, and we're going to see you next week.